All right, diary. I just drove 90 minutes from a wedding and took immediate action on something on my website and a few other things. But first, I got to get something off my chest. You probably don't know that I moved from Ontario to BC with my then girlfriend, now wife, and like all my family is in Ontario. And I go back for an annual trip. And usually I stay with my dad and stepmom and stepsister, who just got married last year. That was exciting because my mom travels out here like, I don't know, every 4 months. So I usually just have a week to spend with my dad's side of the family and hang out with them, play with Sosie, show Sosie her grandparents and grandma. And by the way, I'm speaking kind of quiet because it's like 11 o'clock and the house is quiet, but I needed my little diary to rest well. Anyway, so I find out that my dad took a job 4 hours away. This is something he's done before. He works at a power plant as a master electrician. And I was bummed, right? Like, I only have a week with my family. And now I find out that this job that he took, he's only coming home on the weekends. So I'm only going to have, get this, 3 days. And when I was talking about this trip initially, my stepmom, I'll just call my mom from now on, was like, you know, we're not having, like there's no wedding happening. Your sister's not getting married. We're just going to hang out with family. So I'm like trying to prioritize hanging out with family. And whenever my wife is talking about hanging out with friends and stuff, I'm like, yeah, I know, but I just want to kind of like bunk up at my parents and make sure they have time with family or with Sosie and us. And then I find out that my dad's not going to be around like for pretty much 3/4 of my week there. Because then I have to like come home and work, I think, a double header, you know, so I'm trying to give them my time. I took that kind of personally, which I really shouldn't have. I learned later or thought later. And then I also find out that like the day after we arrive, my sister and mom have to go to a birthday party. I'm like, guys, fuck's sakes. And immediately on like the group chat, you know, which I'm reading at a wedding, I just wanted to say like, guys, I'm trying to prioritize this and that. And, you know, I was not acting logical, quote unquote. I was like choked, you know? Here I am trying to make an effort, which I haven't really spoken to them about our plan. So am I making an effort? That's debatable. My car ride home, I'm listening to music and sometimes a certain track comes on and the title said things like get out of your own head or in the moment or have a big heart. You know, have you ever been driving and you're feeling some type of way and the track title means something to you? I kind of had that moment and I'm like, is this the universe? Is this God? Anyways, it sucks that I'm not going to have as much time as I wanted, but you know, you got to pay bills. If dad's got to take a job somewhere to pay for this 5 acres that he owns, whatever it is, I'm just going to make do. So I wanted to get that off my chest, invite you into my world a little bit. But outside of that, I want to talk about the wedding I just worked. A second shot with a teammate. I've never shot with them. They've shot with me. I've met them numerous times. You know, we're definitely friends. But I find myself a few times like having to find that line between like really, really good support and enhancing the role of a second shooter. You know, like where does it become that you overstep? So how much do you help? How much do you like push back? How much do you support? And like say, yeah, I'll do whatever. But then also like maybe try this, try that. There are a few things like lighting, speech angles, maybe a little bit of like, you know, the audio gear and lending my own. I just found myself a few times that I wanted to help out. Oh my God, my cat's trying to get in. I thought someone's trying to break into my room. Anyways, I'm grateful for the job. It was fun. It was fun to second shoot for them. Been a really cool environment. Work with planners I don't usually get to work with, which I was actually kind of like wondering why don't I usually work with this planner, but this other person does. You know, what work am I putting out that is attracting certain planners and certain clients? Just a few thoughts, but here's the big thing that I wanted to get off my chest. Or not that I want to get off my chest, but at the top of my diary, I said I literally came home and did something. So I spent 90 minutes thinking about this year, 2025, and next. And if you've been listening to the diaries, you know I've been needing money. I've been running ads. I think in 2.5 weeks, I've got 40 leads and a handful, maybe half a dozen consults, but no one's booked yet. One person said they wanted to book, but I don't know. They haven't signed the contract or agreed, so I'm not counting it. So this is what I did. I got home got into my hot ass office, turned the AC on, and then I lowered my prices by, I think, $50. Usually, I'll just talk Indian weddings. I do about 500 was my norm, but I went down to 450. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going down to 400 for this year. For next year, it'll be 450. I know some of my close friends have done that. But when I was talking to the planner about the season, the year, and she said a lot of other vendors have lowered their pricing. This is just the state of the world. So I did that, and I'll still make decent money if I fill my calendar. But we'll see. You know, is this the state of the world? Is this what I'm going to have to do all the time? You know, is there like a cyclical nature of the wedding industry, prices, and supply, demand? But anyways, if I just get bookings, I'll be really, really happy, because then it means I don't have to panic. And also, I want to fund Northbound in 2026 and a whole bunch of other things that I want to do. Maybe update some gear. I don't know. Buy those lens caps that I've been missing or losing throughout all these weddings. A couple old batteries I got to replace. Anyways, diary, this was a unique one. Thanks for listening.